Hello, welcome to this video on how to set up rubrics and use rubrics in Moodle. My name is Jason Morgan from Shaw University, and I'm going to give you a very simple demonstration of how to create an assignment, create a rubric, and then use that rubric to help you with grading. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're in our ENG 110 professional learning community little shell that we can play in. It's like our sandbox. So I'm going to turn editing on, and I want to create an assignment where we can add a rubric. So I'm going to go down here to just our little place, other items where I can play around with some stuff. Come on, let's go. There we go. Okay, so other items. So I'm going to go ahead and add an activity or a resource. I'm going to go ahead and create an assignment and add that. Okay, and we're just going to call this rubric for giggles. This is a test. Okay. Now, if you want students to read whatever is in this box, make sure you click on display this on the course page. Okay. We're not going to talk about availability or submission types, but for feedback types, I should just mention that if you don't have this box clicked, feedback files, if you want to have them send you a file and then have you be able to send them a file back, you have to click on that or that option will not be available. That's just a side note, bonus points for that one. Okay, but let's talk about rubrics. So we're going to go to grade, and then you can figure out how many points is going to be worth. Again, that's based on how you set up your grade book and such like that. Okay, and right here, the grading method, we need to change that to rubric, okay? And then we would put it in whatever category we've set up in our grade book. Okay, so rubric, boom, all right. And then we would hit save and return to course. We're done, yay! No, we're not done. All we've done is said, hey, we've created an assignment and we decide that we're gonna grade it using rubric, but we didn't actually create the rubric. So to create the rubric, we actually need to click on the name of the assignment while we're still in editing mode, okay? And then I got to go to the gear. Whoop. If I scroll down here, I can find define rubric. Define rubric. So I'm going to click define rubric. Whoop. And it's going to let me do this. Okay, and then I would give this a rubric a name, rubric test. I can put information, just help me remember what I'm doing here. And now this is where I actually create my rubric. Now here I can play around with it. So let's say I wanted to have this be grammar, the first thing I'm going to grade them on. And let's say I want to have 4 different levels that I want to grade them on. But I can determine, the name of each one of these, that kind of defines what I'm looking for in each category. And then I can determine how many points it's going to be worth. And let's say that's going to be worth 15 points, and this level is going to be worth, let's say, 30 points or 20 points. Okay. And this is going to be 45 points, whatever, however we wanted to do it. Okay. And then I can add another level. Let's say we also wanted to do organization. There we go. And then same thing, I would have to give it information, blah, 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 blah. And see, I can actually have an extra level. I don't have to have the same amount of levels, and I can always change the points. Okay. So once I've done all this, let me get the title over here. Okay. This is where you put your distinct feedback on what exactly you're looking for in each one of these categories. Okay, I'm just kind of showing you how to create it, and you can add as many of these as you want. Or if you're like, oh, I don't want this to be, and you can also move them around. So let's say, oh, I want organization to come first. Well, I'll just move that up there, or I can put it under there, whatever. Okay, so there's that. Once you've created your rubric, you're going to save rubric and make it ready. Okay, and then there it is. You're like, well, yay, okay. Well, how does that work, though? How does that work as far as students going? So let me show you a demonstration. Now, the next one is not a video. I mean, it's video, but it's not in real time because I have to be careful of what I show. So let's go ahead and pull up this thing right here. All right. I have to make this a little bit smaller because this hides. I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger for you. Okay. So when I've clicked on this assignment, this is now where I'm going to be able to grade it. Okay, so I pull it up here and it says, okay, I've got 12 students. If I look over here, I have 12 students that are in this class, and I want to see, who's submitted it and who hasn't submitted it. So this student right here, which I have covered their names to protect them, shows that they have not submitted it and I haven't graded it. Okay, so what I could do is if I click on this little funnel, then it brings up this option. I can click on submitted, not submitted, requires grading, granted extension. So what I do is I click on requires grading because that shows me everyone who submitted the assignment that I haven't graded yet. So then it will only show me that. So I don't have to sort through the ones that have graded and haven't been graded and submitted and blah, 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 blah. So only those who require grading. So once I've done that, then I find one that's been done. Now, if I click on this little box, let me go back here. Okay, see this little box right here? So you see the rubric which we had created for this assignment. There's this little X thing that can make it bigger. So if I click on that, it actually pulls up the rubric into another window. And then I can say, okay, well, and then it clearly defines what did they earn on the assignment. I kind of hit it, sorry. So let's look at this on this. What feedback did you receive in the assignment? And then I have very specifically what I'm looking for and how many points it's worth. Okay, what are you going to do with the feedback to ensure? Okay, and then I have that, it's a word count of how many they're supposed to have. Okay, so this very clearly defines what I'm looking for and already has points assigned it. And then what I can do is I can just grade it by clicking on, okay, like they did this. Oh, they just copied and pasted the feedback, so that's some partial points. Then I click this. And once I've hit all the little boxes, okay, then I can just push this button and it makes it go away, but it's been graded. And then if I scroll down, so there's my rubric up here, and I've already graded that, then I can leave feedback comments right here, okay, some general overall feedback comments. And then I can hit save and show next, and that'll show me the next paper that needs to be graded. Once I've hit save and show next, what happens is that rubric, it grades that paper. So whatever, it adds up the points already for you, and it puts it into your gradebook. And then in Moodle, it will show the students the grade they earned, and in the feedback column on Moodle Gradebook, it'll show them whatever you've typed in here. Okay, so that can save you a lot of time and effort, and that is something that is very valuable and would recommend you use when doing assignments in Moodle.